Hi everyone. This is a message for our students and for their parents and carers as we approach the beginning of term 3. I hope that the last couple of weeks have been a time of relaxation and enjoyment for our students, that they've kept themselves safe and made themselves useful around the home, and that there's been some quality family time happen as well. As we get ready to recommence learning next week, I have been reflecting on the work of our students over terms 1 and 2. And in the midst of all of that interruption caused by the pandemic, I have really enjoyed reading their reports and noting the learning growth that's taken place despite those interruptions. Not just the growth in knowledge and understanding, but in particular, the habits that our students have developed as learners. If you remember, on our reports, there are 3 criteria for the profile of the learner that we say are really important. The first is that a student can manage her own learning. This means that they're organised and resourceful. The second is that she takes opportunities to extend her learning, that she asks questions and reads widely. And the third criteria is that she relates to others to enhance everyone's learning, that she can communicate, work in a group, collaborate and cooperate. And what I've noticed with great satisfaction is that in these 3 areas, so many of our students have excelled and grown this year. And I suppose in some ways, the challenges presented by remote learning and by the interruptions of the pandemic gave our students an opportunity to really grow up as learners, to take ownership of their learning and to take control of the day-to-day management of what they were doing with their classes and with their teachers. And there are students who have received Principals Awards in this round of reports that have never received a Principals Award before. I want to congratulate all of our students for the way that they have maturely approached the challenges of the last couple of terms and for the growth that they've demonstrated to their teachers and through their assessments. So as we get ready to resume learning, there's some important lessons to be learned from what we've experienced so far this year. It's been a deeply troubling year and we're certainly not clear of the pandemic yet. Like you, I'm sure, I've been watching the news with some alarm as we see these hotspots and we see these clusters of COVID-19 appearing throughout the community. I want to assure our students and our families that over the holidays, we have taken extra measures to make sure that the classrooms and the common areas of the school are as clean as they can possibly be, ready for our students to return. We have restocked our hand sanitizer and our disinfectant, and our cleaners have instructions from us about how to maintain that level of cleanliness every single day in the college. But that level of cleanliness is only as good as the level of cleanliness and hygiene practiced by our students and by our teachers. I can assure you that our teachers are taking their hygiene and their cleanliness very, very seriously. And I would ask that as we get back to learning next week, that all students are reminded of the importance of hand hygiene and of coughing into their elbow if they need to cough, of not touching any surface they don't need to touch, of using the hand sanitizers that we have at school liberally, of trying not to come into contact with other people, particularly their teachers, and most importantly of all, to stay away from school if they're feeling unwell in any way. And as you know, and you've heard this message from our Premier every single day since this emergency began, if you are exhibiting symptoms that sound or look like the sort of symptoms associated with the coronavirus, then you are to submit yourselves to testing and to remain isolated until you've received the results of that test and to follow the instructions of New South Wales Health. So we are looking forward to having good attendance as soon as we get back to school, and we'll be trying as far as possible to keep things rolling along normally, challenging our students in their learning and making their experience of learning here as engaging and as enjoyable as possible. It's a great opportunity again for me to thank the work of our teachers and our office staff, to thank them for their work and for their constant focus on the well-being of your daughters. You may have noticed in the last week of school, I sent home a message about how we will be communicating with our families starting week 1 of next term. Each Friday, you'll be receiving an email and a school bag notification from the college called the Chisholm Need to Know. We decided, based on feedback from you, that you want timely information from the school that lets you know what you need to do as a parent or carer to get your daughter ready for learning. And so this weekly update will be the sorts of material that you need to know to organise yourselves and your families better. And we hope that you find it useful. We would welcome any feedback that you'd like to give us on this new mode of communication that will help you to keep in touch with the day-to-day goings-on of the college. It won't be the place where we celebrate learning. It won't be the place where we share the successes and achievements of our students. We'll be, as we have been doing for quite some time, celebrating those successes through our social media challenges, Facebook, Instagram, and through updates like this via video. And so you can look forward to those as we commence term 3. And I also said in my update at the end of last term that as a Catholic school, as we move through this crisis that our country and in fact our world is facing, it's an opportunity for us to be talking to our daughters and to our students about what this means for us as believing people. And I said in my message to you that there are signs of common humanity that we're seeing around the world at the moment that we haven't seen in a long time. Some of the world leaders, as you would no doubt be aware, are trying to drag people into individualism, into a way of thinking about our experience in the world that says all that's important is me, my safety, my rights, and my needs. Well, our common humanity and our Catholic Christianity says that that is not the case at all. That we are deeply connected to each other, and that this deep connection of our shared humanity, wherever we are in the world, means that we share some responsibility for each other. Take, for example, the arguments in the United States at the moment about wearing masks and people refusing to. That's an extreme example of people not caring about each other. Thankfully, in Australia, we still have a really good sense of what Catholic Christians would call solidarity, this shared responsibility for our brothers and sisters. And as I look at the wonderful work that our students do in social justice and charity work, it's clear that our girls understand that we do share this responsibility for one another. And it's the example that was set by Jesus in the Gospels, and a great example for us to follow in these very challenging times. That means that we as a college share responsibility for you and your family. And if your circumstances have changed because of coronavirus, because of the changes to your employment or the hours that you are employed at the moment, or sadly if you have lost your job because of COVID-19, then please get in touch with the school. Click the link on our website that lets you know of the supports that are available, because we are in this shared relationship of solidarity and we share our responsibility with you as generously as we can. And no student will miss out on an education here because they can't afford to pay or because their family's circumstances have changed. So I look forward to working with you in partnership over term 3 and invite you, as always, to get in touch with us, to ask questions that you need to ask, and to share with us what you need from us as a school, because we stand ready, as always, to work as partners with you. Look forward to seeing the students streaming through the gates on Tuesday morning. A reminder that Monday is our professional learning day, where we'll be focusing on our staff's spirituality. And I look forward to seeing the girls on Tuesday. God bless.